Developing tonight, police activity at the site of a protest involving pro-Palestinian demonstrators near the UC Berkeley campus. Live pictures from that scene where there is a heavy police presence tonight. We'll have that story and also.
It was right here. It was like pretty much between like these three pillars. Nobody's here, so super eerie feeling.
Eerily quiet on UC Irvine's campus today after a clash between pro-Palestinian protesters and law enforcement that ended with dozens of arrests late yesterday. Good evening and welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. We are following that developing story in the San Francisco Bay Area tonight, where a group of protesters have taken over a vacant building near UC Berkeley. It is owned by the university. The school put out an alert just about 30 minutes ago warning anyone near that building that there is police activity in the area, and you saw the heavy law enforcement presence. We get more tonight from KTVU's Janet Katsuyama.
Protesters erected barricades Thursday around the encampment that popped up late Wednesday. Flags and signs surrounded the protest site, calling for the university and the Biden administration to stop any funding linked to the war in Gaza. More than 15 tents were set up in front of the building on Channing Way. A UC Berkeley spokesman says the group is separate from the group that was at Sproul Plaza.
We have confirmed that the coalition with whom we reached an understanding on Tuesday did not initiate this action. There have been no arrests as of now. It's not clear who the suspects are.
The protesters said they do not want to make any comments or talk to the media when asked about their message or what group they represent. Instead, they said they'll put any comment on their People's Park Instagram page. Some community members stopped by to see the site, one woman bringing pamphlets to the protesters.
But I'm also with Berkeley Cop Watch, and so I brought some things for them to, know their rights in case they get arrested.
We're treating this site as an active crime scene. There are an estimated 60 to 65 suspects trespassing on university property and vandalizing a fire-damaged building next to People's Park.
Neighbors say they are concerned about safety issues, but don't want to see an escalation with police targeting this particular group of protesters, whether they're students or community members.
We want to hear what the people protesting have to say about this and not accept that distinction.
They're not bothering anybody, but I don't think they should be there in this particular area. They can protest all they want. I have no problem with that. I'm more concerned with that being a fire hazard.
The university says because of the fire a few years ago, they are concerned about the stability and the safety of this building. They say no students have been arrested so far. In Berkeley, Janet Katsuyama, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
All right, we want to continue our coverage tonight on the developing situation near the UC Berkeley campus. Let's get straight to KTVU's Bailey O'Carroll, who is live at the scene of that vacant building where protesters are still inside. Bailey, what does it look like?
Well, Alex, I can tell you it has changed dramatically from when I left the scene just about 11:30 last night. Of course, you heard from Jana not that long ago. Now I want to give you a look at what it looks like right now in real time. So this barricade, this kind of fence area here is, of course, new. One of the officers standing near here telling me that they got here just about 45 minutes ago. There is a very large police presence, as you can see, behind this initial wall of officers, and they are standing there. We could hear them. We couldn't exactly make out what they were saying, but appearing to talk with some of the people that are inside that abandoned house near UC Berkeley's campus, not on campus. Now, last night, UC Berkeley police told me that they estimated anywhere from 10 to 20 people were inside that house. They have hung Palestinian flags from the windows. When we first got here yesterday, we could hear them smashing out the windows. We saw them carrying in pallets and pallets of supplies, from food and water to wooden beams, sorts of tools, cleaning supplies, mops, all sorts of things. And then there's also now a crowd that has gathered here outside of this fence line, protesters who aren't allowed to get in. And then about 30 seconds prior to when you guys came to us, there was a woman here who said she lives on the other side of this fence line here. And of course, she could not get in to go home here. But again, it's a developing situation, one that's kind of changing in real time. There's a lot of unknowns still. We do not know if UC Berkeley has communicated with the protesters outside. When we tried to talk to them, KTVU tried to talk to them earlier today. I tried to talk to them last night. They did not want to communicate with us. So again, the scene is still developing, and we will, of course, keep you updated on what happens here. We'll send it back to you, Alex.
Yeah, we certainly will. A very tense scene there near the UC Berkeley campus. KTVU's Bailey O'Carroll reporting live for us tonight. Bailey, thank you. We head south now, and tonight the encampment that had been set up on UC Irvine's campus in Orange County is gone. Authorities there say 26 students and 2 university employees are among those arrested. As Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf reports tonight, demonstrators are refusing to back down from their demands that the university divest funds directed to Israel.
New details emerging from Wednesday's chaotic clash at UC Irvine. Police from at least 15 different agencies tearing down barricades and carrying away tents. Almost 50 protesters arrested from what had been a 2-week pro-Palestinian camp-in.
Standing up against the genocide should make everyone enraged. Everyone should be against the genocide.
Organizers and an associate professor Thursday holding a press conference calling on the school's chancellor to resign.
These different universities have decided that they would rather spend money getting cops on campus than to listen to student demands about divestment.
Authorities called to UC Irvine Wednesday when demonstrators broke in and barricaded the physical sciences lecture hall. Fox 11 there as police walked up to the doors tied shut. Moments later, the building inside empty.
We reclaimed the university for the students who pay the tuition, for the workers who clean the buildings, for the faculty who truly run this institution.
Nobody's here, so super eerie feeling.
Classes Thursday changed to remote, leaving campus noticeably quiet, except private security on patrol.
I was right here. It was like pretty much between like these 3 like pillars.
The area where the camp-in protest took place already cleaned up.
It's crazy, everything's cleared out and it's a lot peaceful compared to yesterday, and it's all dead.
A dramatic ending to what was a more than 2-week protest. Pro-Palestinian organizers at UC Irvine now insist they're not done yet.
Over 40,000 dead! They arrested us instead! They arrested us instead!
And that was Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf reporting for us tonight. UC Irvine Chancellor Howard Gilman says he is heartbroken by what unfolded on the campus yesterday. He put out a statement on the matter that says, in part, quote, "My hope is that we can find our way to a culture of peace, mutual respect, and shared commitment to addressing our differences through the norms of scholarly inquiry and debate." Once again, UC Regents have postponed a controversial plan to limit political speech on university websites. This plan was part of an effort to calm political division on UC campuses. The last-minute delay came during a closed-door session of a 3-day meeting on the UC Merced campus. This proposal would prohibit employees from posting personal views on prominent campus web pages. Opponents call it a, quote, blatant attack on free speech. This is the 3rd time a vote on the proposal has been postponed. The board says it likely will be taken up again at its next meeting coming up in July. The president of Sonoma State University has been placed on administrative leave for insubordination after he reached an agreement with pro-Palestinian protesters. CSU placed Mike Lee on leave yesterday for making that deal without the appropriate approvals. Protesters moved out of their encampment at Sonoma State after Lee announced the agreement. It included an academic boycott of Israeli institutions as well as divestment strategies. State Senator Scott Wiener calls the deal between Lee and the protesters horrifying.
We can have whatever opinions we have about the war. I have strong opinions about the war, and I've criticized the Israeli government. But regardless of one's view of the war, when you talk about let's do this like boycott and try to dismantle the Israeli economy, that is 1/2 of all Jews on the planet.
And Lee put out a statement saying, quote, "In my attempt to find agreement with one group of students, I marginalized other members of our student population and community. I realize the harm that this has caused, and I take full ownership of it. I deeply regret the unintended consequences of my actions." A Southern California college professor will have to stand trial in the death of a pro-Israel protester last year. A judge has declared there's enough evidence in the case to try Loa Abdel Fattah al-Naji. He's accused of striking Paul Kessler with a megaphone during a confrontation at a pro-Palestinian demonstration in Thousand Oaks in Ventura County. The 69-year-old man fell and hit his head on the pavement and died the next day. Al-Naji has been charged with involuntary manslaughter and battery and could face at least 4 years in prison if he's found guilty. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, growing debate surrounding a Seattle park that's known for its nude visitors. Tonight, what the city is proposing to do at the site that's dividing neighbors. Plus,
I try to stay with my mouth wide open just so air could flow, because I thought, okay, if I close my mouth, then I can't breathe.
terrifying moments for a Panda Express customer. She's suing over what she says she swallowed along with her meal. Coming up tonight, what she's hoping you'll learn from her experience.
And in weather, here is our live camera looking out toward beautiful Seattle. Still some lingering clouds. I did see a little bit of some shower activity today. We will update the forecast coming up. A Washington woman is suing Panda Express over something she says she found in her food. Fox 13's Alejandra Guzman talked with her about one trip to the fast food restaurant chain she wishes she could forget.
My kids love it.
Nestled at the Landing Shopping Center in Renton, this Chinese fast food joint is convenient for Miriam Yocupicio, a mother of four. The distinct red and white logo, immediately recognizable as she's driving home, has become her children's favorite. But the visit on Sunday, March 31st, is a visit she wishes she could erase from her memory. She stopped and picked up the usual.
Rice, chow mein, chicken teriyaki, and orange chicken, and 2 veggie egg rolls.
2 plates and a bowl she shared with her 4 children, one of them just 2 years old, and her sister.
As soon as I took the second bite, I'm gonna say, out of my chow mein, I felt something got stuck to my throat.
Miriam drove herself to the ER. X-rays taken after she was admitted show the ghostly image of the obstruction, highlighted here in the middle of her throat. A sharp stick-like object, 2 to 3 inches long, lodged far down in her throat. Miriam was terrified.
I try to stay with my mouth wide open just so air could flow, because I thought, okay, if I close my mouth, then I can't breathe. Or if I swallow, then I'm gonna get that stick down my throat.
Doctors couldn't pull it out during their first try. She was in pain for more than 10 hours waiting for a specialist, and the situation only grew more dire as the hours passed.
He said, "Do you have a will written?"
Eventually, she was put under and the stick was removed.
It's the wire that was stuck in my throat.
Her first thought, not for herself, but for her kids who were eating from the very same dish.
I feel very hurt. I feel, I was on the line. My children were on the line.
Miriam kept the stick. Taking a closer look at it, it's about a few inches long, sharp, and made of metal. She's done her homework. She believes it's a wire bristle from a brush used to clean the grills. And her lawyer says this is not the first time a Panda Express customer has allegedly swallowed a wire bristle before.
In prior lawsuits, they were told by the court to eliminate the use of a brush that has those particular types of bristles because of the fact that it could break off easily and get into the food by mistake.
They filed suit against Panda Express Wednesday evening, claiming negligence and seeking relief for Miriam's pain and suffering.
This should never have happened, and it should never happen again going forward. And in order to get Panda Corporation attention, we have asked for damages in our complaint that are punitive.
Miriam hopes her lawsuit will also serve as a warning to other consumers.
2 bites could have killed me. Be careful wherever you go.
And that was Fox 13's Alejandra Guzman reporting tonight. She did ask Panda Express for a comment about this lawsuit. So far, the restaurant chain has not responded. We turn now to our weather tonight, and here is some video showing storms rolling into the Phoenix area today. Dark clouds and showers here in the valley. For more, let's bring in KTVU meteorologist Mark Tamayo, who can tell us what to expect across the west as we head toward the weekend. Mark?
Hi there, Alex. Yeah, some impressive clouds showing up there in Arizona. In fact, you can see on the radar, the satellite and the radar, some activity over the past 12 hours. In fact, as we come in closer right now, closer to Phoenix, you can see the clouds and the showers just outside of the Phoenix area. As we check out the Bay Area here out towards San Francisco, lots of low clouds and fog here. And then up in the Pacific Northwest is the system up here producing some cloud cover up in Seattle and a few scattered showers. This was the scene in Seattle today. Lots of cloud cover, especially up until about 12 o'clock. I did see maybe the clouds breaking up a bit with the observations throughout the afternoon hours. 0.03 in Seattle in terms of rainfall today, and a temperature of 64 degrees. In San Francisco, this was the view from Oakland looking out towards San Francisco, and you can see those clouds kind of breaking up a bit, but still the low clouds back in the picture for tonight. And then in Phoenix, temperatures in the upper 90s, and it looks like they'll be talking about some triple digits as we head into the weekend. So here is the breakdown once again. In Seattle, we will have a clearing skies here. It is sunny and warm for Denver. Temperatures warming up there. Lots of sunshine for Phoenix and clearing skies for Los Angeles. We could have some stubborn cloud cover for San Francisco. So here is the forecast models. We do put this into motion. Here we are this evening. And then as you can see, this is Friday, 4 p.m. Still some low clouds and fog near the shoreline for California, but overall it's a fairly quiet weather pattern. No major storms to talk about over the next several days. Here is the forecast. Now for Seattle, there's the chance of some rainfall as we start off the weekend for Saturday. San Francisco, lots of clouds in the morning. Southern California, pretty much the same story for Los Angeles. And then we will bring in the heat out toward Phoenix. Temperatures, as you can see, approach at least in the upper 90s. Could be right around 100 degrees, 101 for Friday, and that will continue into the weekend. So heat out toward the desert, and then maybe some rain showers up in the Seattle area as we head into the weekend. Alex.
All right, Mark, thank you. We turn now to a controversy in Seattle over a public park that's known for having nude visitors. Some neighbors are calling for this park to be separated into two different zones. As Fox 13's Shira Matsuzawa reports tonight, some of those who spend time at the park are worried the proposal is an effort to get rid of nudists.
Waves crashing along the shore. Birds chirping up above. Those are just some of the sights and sounds at Denny Blaine Park. But on some days, there's another sight that can be seen.
There's been a long history of people coming to this beautiful place and getting naked and swimming.
Colleen Kimsey Love is the co-lead and organizer with the Friends of Denny Blaine.
The first person arrested for nude swimming in Lake Washington was Ellsworth Story in the late 1910s, early 1920s. And he's one of the founding architects that shaped the Pacific Northwest architectural style.
Last year, controversy surrounded a proposal to build a different type of architectural structure at Denny Blaine, a playground. Those plans were rejected in December of 2023, but Colleen says since that happened, the Friends of Denny Blaine have been working with Seattle Parks and Rec to address issues like garbage overflow, noise, and of course where people can be naked. Which leads us to Seattle Parks and Recreation now proposing a plan that would separate Denny Blaine Park into two different zones. Zone A would allow nudity near the waterfront. Zone B, which is near the park's entrance and the parking lot, would outlaw nudity.
While we are interested in forming a better relationship with the neighbors, we're not interested in creating policy that is going to set up park users for more conflict, more issues, more problems with the neighbors. What the neighbors seem to be forgetting is that it is not illegal to be naked anywhere in Seattle or Washington, as long as it is not done with intent to offend, or I think the phrase is reasonable obscenity.
And that was Fox 13's Shira Matsuzawa reporting for us tonight. The Seattle Board of Commissioners intends to hold a public hearing on this issue coming up next week. It's still unclear how long it may take to determine whether to separate the park into two different zones. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, some new problems tied to an old storm. Tonight, how the effects of Hillary are putting people at risk all over again.
We probably wouldn't be able to rebuild this. There's not enough material in the world that could fill these ravines. And even if there was, that would probably stretch the project out over 20 years.
9 months after Hillary swept across the Southwest, there is still damage left behind by that powerful storm system. And a lot of that damage is in areas popular among hikers. And that is posing a challenge for law enforcement outside Las Vegas. Fox 5's Mike Allen shows us how people hiking in damaged areas are putting themselves and others at risk.
This is why there is no way people can get up there. I mean, check out all of the debris.
Well, Mary Jane Falls Trail is still trashed, and those who work up here know how difficult it's been for people who cherish this spot.
It was almost like they lost a family member.
There's still a lot of debris, a lot of rocks on the ground.
And with so much debris scattered all over, officials just can't let people in here right now.
Sides can cave in, the footing is unsure. Any type of rescue type of event is then putting the rescuers at risk as well. So for the time being, it's very clear why these trails are closed.
These hikers were on the closed trail and got a talking to by forest officials. Officials who escorted us here for the tour believe hikers on the closed trail we encountered probably walked by this large road closed sign with bright orange barriers, as well as this road closed sign with these orange barriers not far away, and yet another road closed sign. 4 spots in all to prevent people from going in.
Did you guys know this was closed, or?
No, didn't.
Didn't know? Did you see the road closed on this sign right here?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we do.
When this couple saw the signs, they parked and thought it would be okay to walk in. This is the road closed sign they saw, and were shown another sign that tells people they are not allowed here.
Excuse me, did you see the road closed sign?
Yes, it's closed up there, that's what.
How about here? Did you see this one?
Oh, no, we didn't see it.
You didn't see that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem is, if a hiker is hurt in the closed areas, it could take 30 minutes to 3 hours for rescuers to get in and out. And with debris all over, rescuers risk being rescued too if they are hurt. Also, if crews get tied up in here, there may be less coverage in case of a fire or other emergency on the mountain. Emergency officials can call Las Vegas for backup, but those crews are at least 40 minutes away. Now, all of the hikers got a bit of an earful about being in here, but none of them got a citation.
We're using some of these efforts for education over citations. However, that doesn't mean that people won't get citations if they're up here.
And that was Fox 5's Mike Allen reporting tonight. You can be fined as much as $5,000 for hiking in those closed areas. There are several other trails still open for visitors. Finally tonight, the newest Miss USA is from Hawaii. Savannah Gankowitz has been crowned following the resignation of her predecessor. Utah's Noelia Voigt gave up her title last week, citing a need to focus on her mental and physical health. Gankowitz was originally the first runner-up in the competition, and she says she intends to use her 2.5-month reign to promote self-love and confidence among young women. And congratulations to her. That does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching. As always, you can stay up to date on all the stories we're covering at westcoastwrap.com. Have a great rest of your night.